Mr. Williams with his points to support his position?
Well, this is going to be fun, I can tell. You all please take a look at the comments from Keith Overcash, who was appointed by the governor in the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. And then I'll go through some history if I have a few minutes. The Cliffside project on the site will reduce sulfur dioxide emissions by doubling. You can double the plant output. SO2, sulfur dioxide, goes down by 80%. That's written in the permit. We have to comply by law. Nitrogen oxides go down by 50%. Mercury goes down by 50%. The use of water from the Broad River goes down by 90%. That's in the permit as well. The project is carbon neutral. That was not required by law. We agreed to do that. I'm talking with the Division of Air Quality. It's one of the most innovative permits in the country. We're not just building these things for the heck of it. We're building these things because we have a statutory requirement by law to keep the lights on in North Carolina. The state's growing. We have to maintain the reserve margin. It takes 10 years to build a nuclear station. It takes a shorter period to build natural gas plants, but and we're building 2 of those. Those projects are very expensive to operate. Rates go very high. Our customer base is 30% industrial, 30% commercial, and 30% residential. And we have to seek a balance among all those customer classes when we make these decisions. And we don't make these decisions by ourselves. That's why I brought the annual plan. They're made with hearings, they're made with cross-examinations, they're made in essentially a court of law process, which is the utility commission process. And the decision was not made lightly to go ahead with Cliffside. I would suggest people can talk to the county commissioners in both Cleveland and Rutherford County. They both passed resolutions unanimously in support of the project. There is virtually no local opposition in those 2 counties to the plant. And so, it's a tough decision to make these calls. And we're doing them in conjunction with rooftop solar initiatives in North Carolina. The project that was cut in half by the public staff, which is a consumer advocate arm. We were seeking to spend $100 million on rooftop solar. We cut that in half with their encouragement to $50 million. We're still trying to get approval for that. So there's lots of ways that we're trying to meet demand. And I think by singling out an individual project is disingenuous and also somewhat misleading to how we operate. So with that, I just wanted to address that early on. These are tough calls, but they're also calls that are not made alone. And we have interveners on the other side asking us to build more of these projects. So anyway, with that, I just wanted to be very clear about those are the facts, those are the laws in which we operate. If we do not meet those targets, the plant is shut down, period. And the plant today is 30% complete. It's on time, it's on budget. We can talk about clean coal technology closer a little bit later as well. So again, I encourage you to look at the charts in the back to see how emissions have come down on our fleet for the last 10 years. It's exciting work, and we did it in conjunction with environmental groups. So,
Mr. Freeman, would you like to make a comment on that point?
So I have a minute to.
You have a minute to comment on.
So a minute is going to be difficult to rebut all of the
you'll have some time.
misleading information. But first of all, one I can speak directly to is that there's virtually no opposition in the area with Cliffside. There's tremendous political opposition to the Cliffside power plant. I can tell you because the ranks of the Canary Coalition members have grown tremendously since Cliffside has been permitted. There's great opposition there. And I'd like to address one of the points about mercury in particular and hazardous air pollutants. For 3 years during the application process, Duke Energy claimed there was going to be 217 tons of hazardous air pollutants, which includes mercury, lead, arsenic, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen fluorides. 217 tons, which made it a major source of hazardous air pollutants and subject to federal requirements under the Federal Clean Air Act to conduct what's known as a MAC analysis, that's maximum achievable control technology. Duke Energy just ignored that requirement, and their buddies at the DAQ went right along with them until a federal judge finally ordered them to undergo a MAC analysis, at which point Duke Energy suddenly claimed, without changing one nut or bolt in the design, that they were only going to produce 24 tons, which is 1 ton less than the threshold required for a major source. And so they tried to redefine themselves as a minor source, an 800 megawatt coal-burning power plant. Declaring a minor source is incredible. But this is what they've been trying to do to skirt the federal requirements for a maximum available, achievable control technology to reduce mercury emissions, which could be considerably greater than what they have already.
All right, thank you. Mr. Williams, would you like to speak?
The Department of Air Quality, they studied it and they came to their conclusion to suggest that regulators are our buddies is simply woefully inappropriate and dead wrong. And I came in this room to have a nice discussion, and I really think we can go there, and I want to go there. But these are the facts, these are the regulators who are appointed by your governor, Beverly Perdue, and easily before that. He appointed Secretary Ross, who is over the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. And these are technical folks. We just don't make this stuff up. Suggest
more about clean coal. And for a minute, let's talk about mountaintop coal removal mining. More than 400 majestic mountain peaks in West Virginia, East Tennessee, and Kentucky have already been reduced by as much as 1,000 feet. Systematically dynamited, flattened by enormous earth-moving equipment, soil, rocks, formal waterways pushed indiscriminately into the valleys below, with total abandonment toward environmental responsibility, for the purpose of extracting coal to burn in power plants. Sludge ponds held by precarious dams built on loose-filled earth containing high concentrations of toxic chemicals from the mining refining processes, lead, mercury, arsenic, and more, loom ominously hundreds of feet above towns, schools, and playgrounds. Sometimes during torrential rainfalls, the dams overflow or fail completely, sending their poisonous content pouring down into the streets and rivers below, such as the spill in Buffalo Creek, West Virginia, that killed 125 and injured 1,121 people, leaving 4,000 homeless, 507 houses, 44 mobile homes, and 30 businesses were destroyed. Or the sludge spill in Martin County, Kentucky in October 11th, 2000, in which an estimated 306 million gallons of sludge poured into 2 tributaries of the Tug Fork River. The spill was over 5 feet deep in places and covered residents' yards. This spill eventually polluted over 27,000 residents. The spill polluted hundreds of miles of the Big Sandy River and its tributaries and the Ohio River. The water supply of over 27,000 residents were contaminated. All aquatic wildlife in Coal River Fork and Wolf Creek were killed. The spill was 30 times larger than the Exxon Valdez spill, 12 million gallons, and one of the worst environmental disasters ever in the southeastern United States, according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency. The spill was exceeded only in volume by the Kingston, Tennessee plant fly ash slurry spill in 2008. And yes, let's talk about the toxic ash piles accumulating in each of the hundreds of coal-burning power plants across the country, each of them located to a major waterway to provide cooling for the power plants. At Kingston, the dam broke this last December, releasing millions of cubic yards of hazardous waste into the Emory River, threatening local water supplies and the health of many communities downstream. Lead, mercury, arsenic, cadmium, barium, dioxins, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen fluoride. There have recently been similar spills in Widows Creek, Alabama, Loop, Maryland, just upstream of Washington, D.C., and one has to wonder how many other spills have occurred in the past that have gone unreported. Is this the clean coal we're talking about burning at Quicksand?